Okay, all right. Hello there. We're going to do in this video the surface area of spheres and hemispheres. So first I'm going to start off with just spheres because hemispheres are a little bit different, but not too bad. So for spheres, all we have to do is use this formula. And again, this is the total surface area. And the only thing you got to know about your sphere is the radius. Okay, so R is the radius. So our first one, we've got right here, our radius is 17. So all we have to do is plug in 4 times pi times our radius squared, so times 17 squared. And again, we're going to get this in terms of pi and then also do it to the nearest tenth. So when we do this in terms of pi, we have to do the 17 squared times 4, which that would give you 1,156. But since we didn't multiply the pi, we have to put pi after it. And that's yards squared. And then now, in order to get this to the nearest 10th, you just do 1,156 times pi in the calculator. And you get 3,631.7. So that's what it rounds to. And again, yards squared. Okay, so that's it for that one. Number 2 is a little bit different. Here, this 18, that's actually our diameter. So to get the radius, we only want half of that. So our radius on this one is 9, because 18 divided by 2 is 9. So then our surface area, 4 times pi times r squared, so times 9 squared. Again, to get this in terms of pi, you just do the 9 squared times 4. Okay, you do the 9 squared times 4, which gives you 324. And then we need pi there, and it's inches squared. And then to get this in to the nearest tenth, just do 324 times pi in your calculator, and you get 1,017.9 inches squared. So that's for spheres. All right, so now for hemispheres. A hemisphere, yes, it's half a sphere, but finding the surface area is not quite as simple as just cutting the surface area of a sphere in half. That's one part of it, but you also have to remember that when you cut that sphere in half, you have half of the original sphere, but you also have this circle that you'll have to add in. So that's really the only difference. So I kind of have like a little formula for it. For the hemisphere, the surface area, it's 4 pi r squared divided by 2, so that's half the sphere, and then plus, and now we have to find the area of that circle, so that's just pi r squared. So that would be the formula for a hemisphere. All you got to do is remember, just take the sphere, cut it in half, and then add that circle to it. And that's not going to be on the formula sheet, but it's just kind of an easy thing to remember, especially if you're visualizing what that hemisphere looks like. So let's do this one here. Again, the only thing you need to know about your sphere is the radius. So in this one, our radius is 3. So our surface area is going to be 4 times pi times 3 squared divided by 2 plus, and then pi times 3 squared. And now when we're going to be calculating this, I like to do everything except for the pi. So 4 times 3 squared, so that's 4 times 9, which is 36, and divide that by 2. You get 18, and that's pi, so 18 pi plus, and then now over here, we have 3 squared, which is 9, so 9 pi. So 18 pi plus 9 pi is 27 pi. And then to get that to the nearest tenth, you just do 27 times pi. And when you round it, you get 84.8. And these are feet squared. Okay. And then here our last one. Again, here's the hemisphere. They've given us the diameter this time, so our radius has to be 7, because 14 divided by 2 is 7. So then we'll just plug into our formula. 4 times pi times 7 squared divided by 2 plus pi times 7 squared. Okay, so 7 squared is 49 times 4, and then divide by 2, you get 98 pi plus, and then 7 squared is 49, so it's 49 pi. When you add those together, you get 147 pi, and that's yards squared, which when you do 147 times pi, you come out with 461.8 yards squared. All right, so that's it. That's how you find the surface area of a sphere or a hemisphere.